Thanks so much for joining us this morning on a Friday here on THV 11 and streaming on your TV with THV 11 Plus. I'm Hayden Balgavy.
And I'm Jurnee Taylor in for Karen Fuller today. So excited to be here. Beautiful week we've had already, of course. But a good day to be weather aware heading into the weekend.
Gotta get ready for tomorrow. Gotta get ready.
We definitely want to bring in meteorologist Tracy Bean to tell us all about it. Good morning, Tracy. Tell us more.
Good morning. We are looking at a frontal boundary coming in, but right now down in Texas, we've got a little disturbance that's pushing in some clouds. And again, not anything major this morning. We're going to see actually a lot of sunshine today and start to see some highs close to our record of 89. I'm looking for 87 today. So keeping that in mind, again, a few clouds out there, but we'll still see lots of sunshine today. And then the clouds will start to head back as we are looking for that frontal boundary approaching even closer. Sunrise around 7:16, at sunset around 6:30 tonight. We are going to see a lot of cloud cover today, on and off. About 63 right now. We've got a little breeze around 3 miles per hour, mainly going to be out of the south today, and that's going to keep temperatures just a little bit warmer. But we've got 50s and 60s across the state. Remember yesterday we had a bit of a cooler atmosphere, a lot of 50s around the state, and we're flirting here with 70 down there in Texarkana. So things are going to warm up, and you're looking at those highs across the state. That warmer flow coming in and keeping things around 90 and the upper 80s. Again, that's why we're getting ever so close to that record. So keeping that in mind, make sure you do stay weather aware, because Saturday we do have a weather impact alert for the afternoon and the evening for some strong to severe storms. So damaging wind, hail, and brief tornado is certainly possible. But just making sure you're informed and having a plan. And don't forget, we will always be streaming before, during, and after storms on THV 11 Plus, and that way you'll know what's going on, kind of keeping an eye on things. If you're like me, you know, I've got a kiddo at Fayetteville, so I need to know what's happening here and I need to know what's happening there. So that'll help you do that. And again, make sure you download our phone app as well. That'll get all the latest watches and warnings.
Tracy, thank you. Developing this morning after helping broker a peace deal between Israel and Hamas, President Trump is shifting his focus to the war in Ukraine.
Well, today he's set to host Ukraine's president at the White House, just one day after a call with Russia's leader that ended with plans for another summit.
CBS News' Naomi Ruckham reports on what this means for the next phase of U.S. diplomacy.
Fresh off his big win securing a Middle East peace deal, President Trump now hopes to do the same for Ukraine and Russia.
We're going to get it stopped.
Today, President Trump meets with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. The two are expected to discuss the president's lengthy phone call yesterday with Russian leader Vladimir Putin.
I thought it was a very good phone call. I thought very productive.
Afterwards, President Trump announced that he and Putin will hold a summit in Budapest, like the one the two had in Alaska back in August. So far, no date has been set, though the president says a U.S. delegation led by Secretary of State Marco Rubio will hold high-level talks with Russian officials next week to lay the groundwork. The White House says the president still hopes to get Putin and Zelensky in the room together eventually.
This war, he has always said, is going to have to end at the negotiating table.
With Russia launching more attacks ahead of today's meeting, Zelensky is expected to press the president to give Ukraine long-range Tomahawk missiles. The president says he asked Putin about that yesterday.
I did actually say, would you mind if I gave a couple of thousand Tomahawks to your opposition? I did say that to him. I said it just that way. He didn't like the idea.
The Kremlin says that giving Ukraine Tomahawks could damage prospects for a peaceful settlement. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
Meanwhile, a federal grand jury has indicted another critic of President Trump, the third in just a few weeks to face charges. Former National Security Advisor John Bolton is accused of storing and sharing classified material. Prosecutors say he disclosed more than 1,000 pages of highly sensitive White House information from his time serving in the president's first term, including some documents marked top secret. Bolton, who left after 17 months following clashes over foreign policy, denies any wrongdoing.
He's just not receptive to new facts. The intelligence briefings don't communicate as much information as they should.
A court date for his arraignment is expected soon. Bolton is now the third high-profile critic of President Trump, facing indictment in the recent weeks. Former FBI Director James Comey and New York Attorney General Letitia James were also charged in Virginia.
Today marks day 17 of the government shutdown with no resolution in sight after the Senate once again failed to advance a funding bill. A Republican proposal to extend government funding fell 9 votes short, and a separate effort to fund the Pentagon also failed, halting any partial relief. Senate leaders say negotiations will continue, but the chamber won't return until Monday, pushing the shutdown into next week. Meanwhile, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem confirmed that law enforcement officers, including ICE and the Secret Service, will receive a super check by October 22nd to cover lost pay and overtime. Across the country, another round of anti-Trump No Kings rallies are scheduled, encouraging citizens to speak out against the current administration. And here in Arkansas, organizers are preparing for demonstrations in more than a dozen cities with hopes of a growing turnout and amplifying concerns they say are being felt nationwide.
Now, organizers are calling it No Kings 2.0, a follow-up to a large demonstration that was held earlier this year. THV 11's Tamer Knight shows us what's planned and why they say this moment matters. Good morning, Tamer.
Well, good morning, Jurnee and Hayden. West Capitol Avenue is usually filled with weekend traffic, but on Saturday, it may be filled with signs, chants, and a message organizers say is about accountability and civic engagement. Protesters are expected to return to downtown Little Rock this weekend for what organizers are calling No Kings Protest 2.0. It follows a similar event held in June where more than 1,000 people marched across the Broadway Bridge. Organizers say the name No Kings reflects a desire to push back against what some view as unchecked political power. Demonstrations are planned in 13 locations across the state, with participants speaking out on a wide range of national issues they say affect their communities.
We want to show that people are not going to just sit back and accept some of the changes that have broken the law, violated the Constitution, and certainly broken lots of precedents about the power of the presidency.
While some protests in some parts of the country have seen tension, organizers in Little Rock say they're focused on keeping things peaceful. Now, the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office has confirmed that 14 officers will be on site and that Capitol Avenue will be barricaded from Broadway to Arch Street. For THV 11 News, I'm Tamer Knight.
So a big heads up to everybody visiting downtown Little Rock. Also, weather could be a factor on Saturday, so there you go. Thank you so much, Tamer.
Well, as Arkansas moves into the cooler, colorful days of fall, Entergy Arkansas is reminding customers to keep safety top of mind. The company says to clear walkways, use outdoor rated cords when decorating, and always turn off lights when you're away. If you're trimming trees or digging in the yard, you have to call 811 first and stay clear of power lines. Inside the home, check smoke alarm batteries, have your heating system serviced, and keep space heaters at least 3 feet from anything flammable. And don't forget, fall can still bring strong storms, so Entergy recommends keeping an emergency kit ready.
And speaking of safety, Pine Bluff residents have a chance to get free smoke alarms installed as part of a nationwide home fire safety initiative. The Red Cross is partnering with Pine Bluff Fire and the Prince Hall Grand Lodge to help families protect their homes. Volunteers will gather at the fire station Saturday morning at 9 and go door to door in neighborhoods until noon, installing alarms and sharing safety information. It's all part of a national campaign that's already credited with saving more than 2,200 lives.
Well, let's check in with meteorologist Tracy Bean with weather and traffic to tell us all about. Oh,
Tracy,
There I am.
look at there. There's the alarms. All right, look, point it out.
Here I am. All right, let's talk a little weather. Today is going to be a warm day. I'm not going to necessarily see any activity today. We're going to have a southerly breeze around 10 miles per hour. So a little mix of sun and clouds. We've got clouds this morning, a little sunshine, then we'll see the clouds again as we're heading into the evening. For Saturday, that weather impact alert is going to be for the afternoon and the evening for those strong to severe storms, damaging winds, hail, and there is a brief tornado that is certainly possible with this system. So making sure you're up to date with your severe weather plan. Don't forget, THV 11 Plus app will be streaming, of course, it's really easy to go ahead and download on your smart TV. And if you don't have it on your smart TV, while we are streaming, you can even go on our THV11.com and watch there. So make sure you're also downloading, again, our app from the phone just to make sure that you can get all the latest watches of mornings. But we'll go through the timing of things and what we're going to expect and some nice, cool fall weather that will follow this front. And traffic this morning looking pretty quiet as well. Here at 6:09, things are looking good. Everything is green, and that is good, as Ashley says. She is out this morning. She'll be live in Arkadelphia later today, so I'm going to handle traffic for her this morning. Things are looking good for our friends coming in from Conway. This is 40, again, westbound. As you're making your way in, things are moving smoothly, and those drive times are looking good as too. From Conway, going about 71 miles per hour and taking you about 24 minutes, and things are looking good from Benton and Cabot as well. I'll keep an eye on things and let you know if anything will slow you down on this Friday morning.
All right, Tracy, thank you. We'll do weighted vests really enhance your workout. We break down what health experts are saying about this social media fitness craze.
And rising tariffs and inflation driving up costs for restaurants, with many unfortunately having to pass the extra expenses on to customers. Now across the nation, eateries are fighting to stay profitable while keeping diners in their seats. It is 6:09 on your Friday morning. You heard that right. We are ready for the weekend, but we need to be weather aware tomorrow as those storms roll in. Tracy's got an update and a timeline coming up on THV 11 Morning News.